And welcome, sports fans, to another exciting edition of AMP Kart Racing. It is the summer series here at Atlanta Motorsports Park in beautiful Dawsonville, Georgia. Hi, my name is Will Rigdon alongside Stephen Newbold here in the booth, and we are about to get another race day underway here. This is a bit of a different weekend for us, Steve, not what we're used to seeing. We've got split race days, so if you thought today was the only day we were racing this weekend, you were dead wrong. We've got 2 days of racing ahead of us. Today is going to be all the two-stroke classes. Tomorrow we've got the 4 strokes coming in. And Steve, how you doing? It's I know you're coming off a late night just out there at Sugar Creek, and happy to have you here.
I am what somebody would call tired. But no, I'm doing great, Will. Great to be out here at Atlanta.
Some people would call it a racing addict with as many racetracks as you like to get around to, but you know.
All right. Me and John Matthews had that discussion last night. He said, Steve, I think you have a problem. And I said, I am what you call an addict. So if there's like an AA meeting for racetrack enthusiasts, I would probably be the poster child.
Well,
hold on, I got to think. 1, 2, 3.
The sport needs more people like you, Steve.
4 races in the booth in 3 days.
That's pretty good. That's called stable employment, Steve.
Yeah. Stability
I wish more
key.
people your age could get it. No,
yeah, I know. Don't get me started with them youngins. No, I'm just kidding.
But right now we have got karts on track and about to jump into it here. About the tail end of the KA100, I believe it was the juniors, seniors.
Yeah, this is a pre-final.
Pre-finals are on track. They just hit lap 8, so they should be pulling off here momentarily. Look at that great shot of the main track today. We've got the Lucky Dog endurance race going on right now. They are out there doing a 7-hour enduro. And let me tell you, it was kind of hard during setup here today because they did the opening laps here at 9 o'clock, and I was just out in the balcony useless watching these guys get started. That was so cool. About 50 cars all taking the green flag at once. And bit of a rainy start to the day today, so they got held up getting started. We got a little held up here
as well, yeah.
But fortunately, the forecast is clearing up here today, so it is going to be clear skies. Should be some good racing. As you can see, track conditions slowly starting to dry up. How this is going to affect the guys here today, I don't know, because they qualified on a wet track, and they're going to be racing on a dry track. So, a lot of things are going to be changing with setups. Definitely be going from rains to slicks.
I talked to a couple drivers, one of them being Jose Garcia. He said at the time when I talked to him, if there was an intermediate tire, that'd be the tire that they would use right now. It's not necessarily slick, but it's not grippy. So, I mean, they're probably going to – some of these guys might have qualified on rain tires, switched over to slicks for the pre-final. And since there's nothing in the forecast rain-wise, they should remain on those slicks for the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, I would not expect them to change. This isn't like, the traditional rainy days that we get out here where, it rains a little bit, then it stops, and then it rains a little bit again, and they're constantly playing that guessing game of do I run wets, do I run slicks? So it should be a fairly simple choice for them once this track gets dried out. And looks like we've got a recovery right now as we are waiting to scoop up the rest of the KA100 senior field. Once we get done with that, coming up next, we're going to be going into – I've got Sunday's schedule here. Let's put up today's schedule. Here we are. So coming up next will be the shifter class, and that's going to be it for the pre-finals. So not a lot of classes today. We've only got 4 schedules or 4 groups on the schedule today. So we've got tag rookie, and then we've got tag senior, tag master running together, KA100 junior, KA100 senior, which is what they're doing the recovery from right now, and then the shifter class. And then we're going to line them back up, and we'll be doing the finals. So we're going to get to catch the last of the pre-finals for the shifters, and then we're going to catch all of the 12-lap final races. So got a lot of exciting racing coming up here today. And it sounds like Colin's down there. You got somebody, Colin?
Yeah, I did. I got Mason and Aiden here. Unfortunately, the Kart thing went ahead and switched the name, so I'm still getting all the information. I do know that they both won the senior and the junior tag 100, the 100s for the KA. So I wanted to tell you guys congratulations. You did a fantastic job. And also, how were track conditions today? I know it just got done with a big, heavy rain. Was it slick? Did you guys have to manage your tires? How did everything go?
Kind of just the same as any other dry track. I mean, I went out on slicks and qualified on slicks. Didn't qualify in the position that we all wanted, but it ended up working out in the end, so I'm happy with the results.
Yeah, well, great job. And Aiden, how was your day today?
Good. I went out on reins for qualifying and for practice, and it was pretty good. And then now the track conditions are just super dry, but I went a little bit too high on the pressure, so I was bouncing a little bit and had too much grip. But other than that, it was pretty good.
Well, great job, guys. And finishing up with the pre-finals, we'll see you guys back here as soon as we get back to the final section of that as well. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Colin. In the meantime, we're going to sit here and wait for this pre-final to start in the shifters. 7 shifters logged in today. So in the 61, we got Tyler White. In the 55, we got Jim Matchell. In the 288, a name that needs no introduction, that's Oz Cheek the fourth. Another name that doesn't need any introduction around here is, well, Sean Hayes.
In the
membership
membership director, and that's actually his brother we were just talking to down on Victory Lane.
I was like, hey, I know that guy.
Next car on the grid, Kart. God, it's been a long day already.
Yeah.
577 of Osley Cheek. Then we got the 612 of Jake Fetter and the 646 of John Distelwig.
That's actually a pretty good grid. 7 cars for the shifter.
Karts.
Okay.
We haven't called a car race together in a minute. Which, when is our next car race?
I don't know. We've Main Track's been they've been doing their own thing this season, so a little bit of the downforce class and trying to get the Miatas going again, but we are just doing the kart race in this season, so why do you got to ask questions like that, Steve?
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
But no, we enjoy coming out here and covering all the action here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. So, sorry, somebody came in here.
Sorry about that. We got a little distracted.
Say something interesting, Steve.
You know how many wrecks there were in last night's Hunt the Front feature?
Yeah, you were telling me how late were you at the dirt track till?
Oh, my Lord.
Very stereotypical dirt track fashion.
I think we got our last car off the track at about 1:50 last night. And, love the Hunt the Front guys. Great show. I think it was 37 supers showed up.
Oh, wow.
We ran, I think it was 26 starting.
You love a good grid like that.
Dear Lord, was it crazy.
And how big's that track? Is that 3/8?
3/8 of a mile. It's kind of high banked. I didn't realize how banked it was until I actually got on the track Thursday night. Yes, I was on the track Thursday night. It was fun.
Would you take the little danger ranger out there? Did some laps?
I absolutely did. I actually used the truck to be a pack truck for once. So
sick.
It was fun. Definitely grippy in some places.
You don't know fun until you get to do some parade laps on a dirt track.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about sliding? So, example of sliding. It would be like coming into turn 4 here at the kart track wide open and lose the back end the entire time around that corner and drifting all the way to the rumble strips.
And the only time you get invited to drive on a dirt track is when they need help packing it.
Usually.
And that's usually right after it's been wet and it's slick as all get out.
It's almost like you threw oil on an asphalt track and just let somebody have it.
But you feel like the best driver in the world when you can get that nice little drift.
Let me tell you what I did, all right? So I get out there and I'm just hanging out, have a good time. And something told me, Steve, play Kickstart My Heart. And it was like I threw the hammer down and I'm slinging mud. I don't know what it is about that song. It's just like,
that is a good racing song. That's on the Talladega playlist.
To the floor. You know what else is on that Talladega playlist?
What's that, Steve?
Talladega by Eric Church.
Yes, that is a good song. We were up here doing autocross that day, so that's the only reason I had to turn you down for the invite out there.
Man, it was so fun. The night before, I called North Georgia, and we drove
you
from
went
North
to Dega?
Yeah,
went
straight to Dega. We didn't go to sleep until like 4:50 that morning, 5 o'clock.
That looks like we're about to get a green flag here on this pre-final. Let's see. Watch that F1 starting light. We are going. Lights up. Green, green, green. We are off.
Oh, stall right there up front.
And that Was that one of the Cheeks? Was that Oz Cheek the fourth?
It was a white and purple race jersey.
We're
so
going to
I
have to
couldn't
find out at
tell.
the stripe. Let's see. And
Well, they
these
got
guys are
fired.
all jockeying for position right now. This is always the fun part of the race, these opening laps.
Is that Eugene Paneco up
Yes,
front?
that is. And these shifter drivers are so quick getting off the line, and it's always a scramble for this first lap or two as they're kind of shaking up, getting into their rhythm. Because it's one thing to get out there and qualifying. It's another thing when you're from a dead start on the race start. And if you miss a shift like what we saw there, one guy stalling out on the start.
I don't think that's Eugene. I think that might be a Kart Freedom driver, but I don't think that's Eugene.
Maybe not. We'll have to see when he comes by the stripe. That might be. It's probably Jake Fetter. And let's
Yep,
see.
that's Jake
is
Fetter.
that is Jake, and then Jim Mackle right behind him. Oz Cheek.
The driver with
That was the third.
issues.
So that was Oz Cheek the fourth because he was lined up second, or was it second or third on the starting grid?
So he was lined up second.
Yeah. So definitely lost some positions there.
It's amazing what can happen in just a short time here in this shifter division.
And there you see Sean Hayes at the tail end of that pack coming through the kink cam. And right now, some shots from Cowboy Cam. Little tilted there.
Little tilted towers action from the tower there and the
And
turn
some great
6.
drone shots there coming through the final turn as they make their way through turn 1. This is a great shot. You can really see the elevation change.
Yeah, it's what, exactly 43 feet, I think?
Yeah, and that's one of those shots you can only get with a drone, which is kind of cool.
Especially, there's one point in time where we did have a drone sit at the bottom of turn 2, looking back up into the exit of turn 1. It's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, and I love those shots. And right now, yeah, you can get a great shot of these guys coming through the turns.
As they come through this corner, as of last time by, Jake Fetter, best time, 49.494. Again, this is pre-final action here at Atlanta Motorsports Park Kart facility. So Jake Fetter, again, in the 612, leading the way in the shifter division. Oz Cheek in the 577 behind him. Jim Mackle in the 55 behind Cheek. Tyler White in the 61 behind him. Oz Cheek the 4th in the 288 behind White. Sean Haynes in the 414 and 6th, and John Distelwig in 7th.
And as you can see, Federer starting to pull away a little bit from the field. Closest battle we're watching right now is that battle for second and third. Oz Cheek just getting around Jim Mackle. So let's see now that Cheek's got some clean running ahead of him if he's going to be able to close in that gap between him and Federer. I think Mackle's going to sit nicely here in third for a minute. We're going to have to see if Tyler Witt's going to be able to catch up to him. As you can see, just getting the halfway flag. Man, these shifter races go so fast. And already halfway through this thing. These guys are turning. Federer's turning to 49.462. Oz Cheek, 49.894. So those guys are both in the 49s. Jim at a 50.58. Oz Cheek the 4th with a 50.5. Tyler Witt, 51.86. Sean with a 51.4. And John Ditzelwig with a 50.607. So really all these guys are within about a second of each other in terms of times out on track, which is pretty good for the shifter class because there is so much more going on with these shifter carts than a normal cart. These guys are having to shift and drive at the same time. And, you know, it's hard enough in these two-stroke carts with the kind of speeds and G-forces they're pulling to, you know, just to operate them at max level, let alone you add in the extra mechanics of having to shift.
Yeah, and speaking of, it looks like Oz Cheek is falling back ever so slightly. The difference between Jake Fetter and Cheek, 3.176 seconds. Doesn't sound like a lot, which it really isn't in the shifter division. If that was an LO206, yeah, game over.
Yeah.
But in the shifter division, anything can happen.
Yes. And you never know. I mean, these things are so, I don't want to say finicky, but, you know, they are two strokes. You know, heat can be a problem. Mechanicals, you know, there's a lot of issues you could have. You know, brakes, because these things have more brakes. They have front brakes on each side and the rear brake, which means extra solenoids, extra control mechanisms, wires, linkages. There's a lot that could just rattle loose, go wrong with these guys. And, it takes as much as it takes being a good driver, it also takes having a good mechanic.
There's a close battle there on screen.
And that looks like Sean Hayes and Tyler Witt right now going at it. And they're coming up on is that on lap traffic? Is that John? Was that our guy that missed the start?
Possibly.
That stalled? I don't know.
They are less than a half second off of each other.
And I know that's Sean in the back because that's his helmet. Ooh, they're
bobble hard.
Hammer and tong right now. Look at this. Great shots there. I love this camera angle.
No copyright music. We have to make our own.
It's the Steve version of Kickstart My Heart.
Kickstart My Steve.
Kickstart My Cart. Hey, it works because these are the shifters. They gotta get
that would work.
They got to get the push start anyways. And check this train out as these guys are going at it.
We got to pull some of these hot takes that we have and use these
get
as
a
clips.
montage.
Yeah.
Put that on the demo reel, Steve.
This is what you get when you hire the Will and Steve show.
Once you make it big, Steve, don't forget about us little folk, all right?
I'll try. I'll invite you to the NASCAR booth when I eventually make it there.
All right, NASCAR or Monster Jam, either one. Just
yeah.
Get me up there. I would lose my voice in a Monster Jam.
Checkered flag out. Jake Fetter will take the checkered flag here in the pre-final. Oz Cheek in second. Should be Jim Matchell crossing the line in third. Oz Cheek the fourth.
Here's that final battle right here. Tyler Witt, John Ditzelwig, and Sean Hayes. Let's see at the line. And that is going to be your final running order. So great pre-final there for the shifter drivers. We're going to get Colin Hayes going to get a quick word with our winners. I want to see Colin interview Sean, too.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny.
Yeah. And ask him only questions that a brother could ask another brother. Like, nothing any of us are going to understand, but,
it's like me when I start talking hockey to my hockey buddies that are also racing drivers. Be like, hey, man, you slid it through there where Mom hides the cookies. How you feeling? Don't you know? What about that? Did you tape up your stick?
I was going to say Mom's casserole or Mom's stuffed peppers.
Oh.
She's watching. Answer carefully.
Put there in the honey hole, in the donut.
You sound just like, oh, God, I can't remember his name from CKNA.
Yeah.
He's from Canada, or is that Midwestern? Oh, man, that's funny. And we should be having some of those guys up here tomorrow. We should have about 20 to 30.
Should be the north-south battle. That's what's coming up tomorrow. That is our
LO206.
LO206.
Yeah, the Seniors of Mayhem is going to be absolutely stacked tomorrow.
That's like, I don't know, like shotgunning monsters.
I don't think you weren't up here for the CKNA races last season. Oh, were you?
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. You were doing Victory Lane.
I was in Victory Lane last year for that one.
You saw the absolute carnage that.
Oh my Lord!
That many LOs on track.
It was what, like 40? It was insane.
It was the single largest grid we have ever had at AMP Kart Racing.
I saw it roll out.
It was so cool.
I went, oh my God, this is amazing.
It was just a nonstop snake of karts, pretty much from turn 2. They were still coming out of turn 17 at the start of the race.
It was beautiful.
And I am all for anything that brings that kind of racing action out here.
40 cart deep field. Oh God! And there was even a pre-quali.
Yeah.
We had to eliminate like 20 carts on top of that.
Always good time.
So it was like
not everybody makes the dance.
There was C mains, I think, here. I've never seen that.
It was wild.
AMP Kart Racing.
And right now, drivers getting their weights in.
And guys, I'm here with Jake Fetter, the winner of the shifter class for the pre-final. And Jake, congratulations. How was the track today, and what'd you have to do in terms of tires and figure out exactly where you had to go for the slickness?
It's a little greasy out there, a little slick, kind of constantly evolving. Big difference between qualifying and now, where qualifying we're kind of right at the crossover point between wets and slicks. But I think we're dealing with mostly just a dry track right now, and that's kind of how we treated the setup going into it.
And you were actually able to pull up a conservative 3.7 differential on Ozcheek, which is pretty good, especially. Did you notice it started getting a lot firmer towards the end of the race than towards the beginning? Was it easier?
I knew that they would be close. There was a few jump starts, so I didn't know exactly how the order was going to be shaking up, but I was keeping an eye on the gap behind. And then I think once I knew things were a little more comfortable, I was just kind of about tire management, brake management. Also was kind of managing a little bit of a brake issue throughout that race. But yeah, overall should be good to go for the final.
All right, well, Jay, congratulations. We'll see you for the final.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Well,
We got our favorite guest in the booth here with us today, the man himself, Al Edwards.
our Larry Mack,
Yes.
as we would like to say. We need to get a cutaway cart, That way we can pan down to you and you explain everything mechanical about these carts.
Happy to do it.
And got to ask you, since we're doing this split racing, normally you got about 20 guys you're supporting. Is that number in half today because we're only got half of them out here? Or
Oh no.
how many you got coming?
22.
Is that for the weekend or for just today?
No, that's for tomorrow actually. I've got one 4-stroke guy. It's Jose Garcia running in Tag Masters. John Wareheim is taking care of him up at his garage this time. He doesn't have to drag all of his stuff down. But Jose Garcia will be with us tomorrow running LO206 Masters, and I'll be in the mix as well with Legends. I think we might only have 2 entries. So
hey,
if
that's a
you're
guaranteed podium.
Yeah, if you're out there listening, we're trying to grow the over 55 geriatric club here at AMP, and so I celebrated my 55th birthday on Thursday, and so
Happy birthday. You don't
Thank
look
you.
a day over, I'm going to say 35.
well, thank you.
Al, you age gracefully.
I guess so. Yeah, that's what everyone
Aging
says.
like fine 110.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve's going to overtake you. By the time Steve hits 30, he's going to look older than you.
I'm going to look like I'm dead.
Do I need to go get your walker now?
Yeah, please.
With how much he's been working here, all these racetracks.
Yeah, you've been really killing it, buddy.
Yeah,
Let me tell you,
I'm a
you've
little
been-
tired.
I'll bet you are.
Hey, we're going to see you on Sunday afternoons one day, Steve.
Maybe. I hope so. That's the end goal.
I hope
Sunday
so, too.
afternoons or Sunday midday with Feld Entertainment calling Monster Jam.
That would be fun.
That's where I want to go. Monster Jam or NASCAR.
If
One
you
of the
could,
two.
yeah. Let me ask you this, Al. If you could do any event that was not racing, announcing, what would it be?
Ooh.
That was not kart racing.
It was not kart racing. Wow, that's a tough one because I don't have a high-pitched enough voice for Formula One, right? So I'm not Jackie Stewart. Jackie Stewart almost talked like a girl.
You're not pompous enough to call F1.
Well, no, I'm not. And I also don't have the cool accent. So, and here we come with Tag Rookie. Is that right? Yeah, Tag Rookie. We're doing our flying start here.
And I believe.
No go.
No, we don't have it. They're doing
looks
their
like
warm-up lap.
I
it
got a
looks like.
straggler.
Yep. They're going to grid up here, and we're going to get to racing. They've gone through the cut-through. These guys almost need to come to a stop, but we have 3 entries.
I would think they know there's another guy back there.
they
They're
might.
just.
Who's this?
It's gonna be arcade style. Guy in the back's just gonna get the run and start just to catch up.
Yeah, they're wide open there. Okay,
they
well,
got the
They're
green.
going green, green,
they
green.
gave them green.
Is this a split class or is this?
No, this is all rookies. So it's Nazar Martin Yanko in the 55, Ryan Dehoney in the 115, and Mason O'Donnell in the 00.
As they head up turn 2 right now. Staying fairly clean right now is what you like to see, although this is a 12-lap race, so 4 more laps than what we just saw in the pre-finals. So not going to win it on lap 1.
Hey,
Certainly
you're
not.
guaranteed a podium. They're I mean,
Yeah?
It's one of these things where children especially, they can get really excitable, trying to kind of show their mettle, show what they're made of. And, the thing I always say to the team is, just like my flight instructor said, relax and fly the airplane. And it's the same exact thing. Just relax and enjoy the drive. If you're driving out of desperation, you're going to make a mistake. And it's a foregone conclusion. And if you see these guys come out of even Formula One cars, they're not super out of breath or anything. They go through a lot of training just to control their breathing and relaxing in the car because it's just physiologically, this is a hard sport. I don't care what anybody says. I ran 50 laps yesterday, and I slept like a baby.
You don't see a lot of fat drivers out there.
No, generally not.
At least not on road
why.
racing. I don't know, oval guys might make
I was about to say, there's Alex Clubb.
Yeah, I was just saying.
But the bottom line is that you're still an athlete. Well, no matter what your weight is, you still cardiovascular. You still got to be able to relax in the car and not really tense up. Oh, you never last. I mean, you start making mistakes when you get tired, and that's what happens with those old folks generally. Is I find my driving will fall off if I'm not conditioned. Like the past 2 races have been a killer. Other than Jeff Griffin almost running me off in one, I was really falling off, and my times were falling off a little bit faster than the competition. And so they were right on top of me. So I started to have to go real defensive, and I just missed it. So I ended up taking a second place. Just gave it away, but that's all right.
I imagine that's something with the kids divisions. You probably don't have to teach conditioning too much because, as I'm finding out with my little 2.5-year-old at home, they've got boundless amounts of energy, and
It's more mental conditioning.
You know, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've already talked to my wife, and she has given me permission to, when our child's due in December, she has given me permission around the age of 4, quarter midget.
yeah.
The high drama racing.
Yes. Dirt.
Yeah. Even higher drama racing.
She was like, if you think it's safe, and I'm like, yes, it's perfectly safe. And
Are you
then she goes and looks up videos, and she sees, these things flying through the air, 50 feet up in the air.
Steve's going to be like Randy Marsh out in the paddocks at his kid's dirt track race.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, you want to go?
What? Shirt off.
So we look like we're pretty well matched up here with Nazar Martinenko, Ryan Dahoney, and Mason O'Donnell is back there somewhere. But right now it's a battle of 2. And, I'll tell you, Ryan Dahoney is one of those kids that really knows how to relax and wait for the right moment. And
well, he's put the time in too because he started, I believe, 6, 5, 6. Because we saw them out here doing the kid car races.
They've been up here forever, and they've traveled quite a bit. Now, to coincide, we've got a lot of drivers that are up at GoPro right now, Trackhouse. And
that sounds blasphemous to say.
Yeah, totally. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? It just doesn't roll off.
It doesn't roll off like GoPro.
It does not. And so, we've got less people here, but this is okay because here, look at him just come up. He is going to give maybe a little love tap. Hey, I'm here.
He's feeling him out.
He's really strong up that hill going into David's Bend there. So that's going to be a place where he can make a maneuver if he lays back a little bit and gets that run and plays that right. He's going to be able to make that work. Because look, he's got the gearing. He is climbing right back up on top of Nazar, and it's going to be really interesting to see as the laps wane on. Now, we're doing a 12-lap final here, or we're doing 10?
We're only 1/3 of the way through this.
Wow.
They just hit 4.
Last time by, Dahoney set his personal best at 1:338.
Yeah.
And the gap is less than a quarter of a second.
Yeah, I mean,
they're right on top of each other.
Yeah,
we're running in the hundreds right now, and the hundreds really matter here. You see how he lost some time going up there through turn 2, and here's the one habit that he's got to break is leaning that head. There's going to be feedback that I would give him is that you got to stop moving your head around. Head's one of the heaviest parts of your body, and you're upsetting the balance of the cart. You just need to let gravity do what it does, and Sir Isaac Newton is in the driver's seat. And if you relax in the cart and let your weight shift, that's the way the cart is designed to work. So if you all of a sudden, in a left-hand turn, move your head, let's say 6 inches to the left, you're never going to unload that left rear tire that you need to unload to make it go through the corner, right? So if you let your inertia take your body weight, which is the way these carts really work, the first part of turning a mechanical advantage and jacking and all the stuff we talk about, that happens just as you crack the steering wheel to turn in. But your inertia, when that body starts to become a lever and move over, that's where you're tuning. That's the window that you're tuning into, is you're trying to get that twist right so you don't overwhelm the tire, you don't climb over it, is what we call it.
So are they leaning because they naturally want to counteract that force prior to getting to it?
That's just it's a habit that all children, I've never seen a kid not do this when he first starts out. Now, Ryan's been able to get away with this because he has a slight gearing advantage here because you see he's pulling him on the hill. Right, but where he lacks is when he goes through the corners, he's not braking quite as late, it looks like there, and he's leaning his weight in, and that cart's pushing. You can see it pushes out just quite a bit there. But when he gets back on the straightaway here, he's climbing right back. See, look at his head goes way in like that. So if there's something that he needs to work on, that's what he needs to work on there.
This
now
is
we're on the back marker.
Ooh.
This might get interesting here. Ryan Dahoney,
he's
right on top of him now.
Him.
Wow, that was a tough one for Nazar because Nazar had to avoid hitting him.
He almost got pushed off road coming up the hill.
Yeah, just about.
And you see O'Donnell is also leaning his head. Oh, here he goes,
looking.
Ryan. He's going to look to the inside.
He thought about it.
See, but as he looks to the inside and then leans in, he doesn't get that apex quite right. So he has to work real hard to get back up on top. And here he is with that gearing, climbing right back on top of Nazar Martinenko. If he can hold in that draft and stay with him, he's going to be able to make a maneuver going up through David's Bend, and I think he knows it. It's either going to be through turn 1 or David's Bend, but he's got to get a little closer on the braking zone in order to make that work. He has the gearing.
That time, .212 separates them at the line. So, I mean, he's gaining. Last lap, he was about half a second back.
You got to expect him to start making some moves here because this race is going to run out of laps here. We're just over halfway. We just hit lap 7.
See, look at him. As he goes through turn 4 there, he didn't lean at all.
Oh, there we go. He's
look
set
at
him
that.
up.
There he goes. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. If they're side by side, he stucks his nose in there. Nope, slams the door on him quite a bit there.
And Martinenko is just getting the run down the hill. And
so I'll tell you what Martinenko is not doing. I don't see him looking behind himself a lot, but he seems to be able to hear the cart behind him. And that's something that I try and train kids on, is you want to hear it. If you can hear that engine behind you, you can actually start to pinpoint when they're coming around you and drive a little defensively. But you see how Dohoney is a little closer. If he gets a little closer, he can get beside him. And you see when he leans, how his cart just completely slows down, and Martinenko just pulls on him in the corner. So he's got the straight line and up the hill speed, but he's getting pulled through the corners, and that's more technique than it is power, because Dohoney obviously has a gearing advantage here. And he might go for it again, gets into his draft and makes the break. He's going to make the break there.
He's going for it.
And here, side by side, is going to be late braking going into turn number 9.
Is he going to chop him?
No.
No.
He decided to think better of it and not force the issue, because that usually ends up in contact.
So is he just braking sooner? How? Because he's getting up alongside of him. How is that?
It's one of these things where you don't necessarily want to spend all your cash in luck and talent there in turn 9, because he has an advantage here if he just gets closer to him.
Well, that's the only spot he's making the run at him right now.
That's exactly right, because he has a longer time. But if he brakes later and stays closer, he could get him going into turn 1. See, he's already starting to look around. Look at that. He just pulls. And then as soon as he turns into turn 1, he's pushing. And you can see him push all the way to the paint.
.153 seconds separates Martinenko and Dohoney at the line.
And he might get a run on him again here. He's going to possibly slingshot through. And here he goes. He's going to go up beside him, and they're going to do it. Just through a late break there. He's going to, nope. He just doesn't
Maybe
quite have it.
Maybe it's just the camera angle playing tricks on us as they come by, because it looks like they're side by side. Yeah.
Well, it really truly is a game of chicken and braking. And where I can tell you, where Ryan is struggling under braking, because you see he brakes really early. See, they're side, right behind one another. Watch how he distances. Watch how that distance opens up, right? You said they were about 2 cart lengths. Now they're 3 cart lengths. So if Dohoney can brake just a little bit later and stay a little closer on his bumper up through David's Bend, he really has an advantage going into turn 16.
Yeah, he's going to have to time that run just right if he's going to be able to make it. Because right now, 2 laps to go.
And look at him pull him up the hill here. He's got the gearing. He's got the momentum through 2. He's down to a half cart length. Nazar bobbles it just a little bit, but as you can see, starts to pull him a little bit. Are they going to go side by side? And here he goes out of the draft. The wind catches him. They're almost side by side, but he's going to tuck back in behind the number 55. He might have too high of a gear where the hills are really good, but he just runs out of steam there going into turn 6. So what he really needs to do is get closer to him so he make a run on him here going into turn 16.
Let's see.
Is he going to do it?
No.
But look how close he is. If he brakes a little bit later, he might be able to get him in going into 1.
Well, this is the lap that matters. Coming to the white flag, Martinenko is your leader. Dohoney
and here he comes
right behind him.
If he breaks out here, he might be able to get him in turn 1, but no.
Ooh. And let's see as they go into turn 2 here.
Dohoney's falling back just a little bit here, but look at where he goes. Dohoney needs to do a much later break in order to make this work. It's a game of chicken. It really is a game of chicken. He's close enough here where he can make the move.
That's going to be his last opportunity. Let's see. He's going
to
try
There he goes.
it again.
He's going to make the move here, and he's got the gearing advantage there. Side by side, late braking. There goes Dahoney right in front
And
of
he
Nazar
gets it.
Martinenko. Martinenko tries to go to the outside. He goes through the paint. Martinenko goes through the paint.
That's
He needs
gonna
to
be a
give up that
penalty.
position.
That's going to be a penalty.
Oh, no. He
Yeah,
just couldn't quite hang on to it. He had to go through the paint, otherwise he would have spun. And all Dahoney has to do is just relax now and just drive the rest of the race.
Yeah.
Don't try and nail it because he's going to get a penalty for that.
And I wonder if we had that second shot on the drone to see if
And here he goes across the line. He almost passed him going across the line.
Dahoney left him a lane or not, because that'd be the only other scenario if he pinched him off track.
No, he was on the outside.
Yeah, he was on the outside.
He was on the outside. There's no pinching off there.
Yeah, Dahoney had that clear as day.
Yeah, that was a good run, Dahoney. That was a great pass under late breaking. Good
I think
job.
Martinenko might have just ran out of.
He was
just
in the
ran out-
marbles.
Yeah,
he was in the marbles.
Yeah.
He didn't have any real estate.
Well, how about that
Look at
for covering a two-cart
Boom.
battle
See,
for the
look at
entire
him.
time?
He's
Check
on the
that.
outside. He's in the marbles there. He runs
Oh,
wide.
yeah, he
I can't
just-
make it. I'm going to end up going over that curb, so he goes through the paint. It is what it is.
I mean,
for
Now,
me,
from your perspective, would you pull that same move and not nail the curb, or would you try and keep your line and just?
well, you guys have seen me and Danny May go side by side through that entire series before.
Yes.
And the way we did it is we slowed down so much because we played chicken and we matched each other's braking, and it was all the way down to the line. And so when I hit it, we were going so slow, I could hang on to it through the entire time, right? They were flying. They were, like, on
Yeah.
it. And Martinenko there was no way he was going to hang on because he was just too far out to the right. Danny and I touched twice as we went through there. You didn't see it, but we had rubber on our side pods for sure.
So Mason O'Donnell has now crossed the line. Final how it would sit.
And if
after
you
the
guys
review.
already know who actually won it between Martinenko and Dahoney, I was
we've
just going to
got a-
ask real quick before I pull them up.
Yeah, well, we got to wait from the officials.
Yeah, we're just going to wait 1 second. I have them here whenever.
But from our vantage point, it had to have been Dahoney.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying Dahoney on that one. But I am luckily not a
the
race
race
director
director.
anymore. So I don't have to worry about that call.
I'll go stick my head in race control real quick just to confirm it.
Let's go find out. Next group up is our Tag Master Senior Division. 12 carts checked in. 00 Jose Garcia on the pole. Eugene Paneco in the number 7 alongside him. Number 8 Simon Carton in third. In fourth, 31 of Joe C. Davis. In fifth, 42 of Chris Butler. In sixth, the 421 of Lucas Donahue. In seventh, the 96 of Ian Drennan. In eighth, the 100 of Jordan M. I don't have a last name on him. In ninth, the number 222 of John Dixon. In 10th, the 120, Leonardo Paredes. In 11th, the 88 of Oz Cheek the fourth. And in 12th, the 199 of Caden Butler. Let's go ahead and send it down to Colin for that post-race interview.
And thanks, guys. I'm here with Ryan Dahoney. Ryan, fantastic job. You won the pre-final for the tag rookie. You were battling basically for first the entire time, found yourself behind Nazar there, and then finally within the last 2 laps, you were able to finally make that move that you were working up to, and you made it. You passed him, and you got the win. How do you feel?
I feel great.
Oh, that was a great job. How was the track today? Was it slick? Was it firm? How did it feel?
At the finals, it was really nice and dry, and I had a lot of grip on my tires.
Well, fantastic job. We can't wait to see you here back for the finals, and good luck later today as well. We'll see you. Send it back up to you guys.
Thank you, Colin. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
While we have just a second.
We did confirm Dahoney was the winner.
Yes,
so we were just
yes.
talking about that.
While we have a second, we got something.
Yeah, let's order something up here. What do we got in front of us?
We got something a little new up here at Atlanta Motorsports
This is
Park.
nice and crisp.
Yeah,
I like
know,
the
not-
paper
yeah,
on this.
I know.
What
It's really
We got a
nice.
nice menu here from the new Fuel Kitchen that's up here on the second level.
Yes.
Come stop by, see them. That's professional chef Jason Perry.
Yeah, and I love all these renderings on the. This
menu
is such
looks-
a nice
looks
menu.
beautiful.
So we pay homage as well. We pay homage to the designer of this track, the Tilk Track Burger.
Yeah, I've
That's
noticed
the
that.
designer of the track. And then we have a number of other kind of race-inspired dishes here.
They need a Stephen
So
Will.
in the elevation change, is it going to be thick in one part and thin in another?
Well,
is that
you
how
know,
the
chick-
turkey burger
the
works?
circuit tenders actually are thick in some places and thin
The
in the
Chickman
others.
tendies?
The circuit tenders. I really like those. Those comes with a hot honey sauce, and I had those yesterday. Ooh, that was some good.
And this
good
is
eating.
You know what?
this is a game changer for us here. We've been trying for 6 years to
To get a restaurant.
get a restaurant here, and finally seeing this come together
We
is
need a broadcast announcer's dish. I say let's combine those red line buffalo tenders and mac and cheese if they have mac and cheese.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I love tendies and mac and cheese, like one of my favorite
No, like
dishes.
slam it together.
Oh, what you? Oh, you looking at the menu too? Yeah, the pro tip is the Ooh. I've heard. Yeah, the secret menu.
Secret menus.
We call it the Sean Hayes cookie special.
And here we are with Tag Senior and Master. Let me tell you, we've got a couple of, well, actually 3 real veterans here between Jose Garcia, Simon Curtin, and I can't remember who the other.
Eugene Panenko's in there as well.
Well, Eugene Panenko, as far as seniority, is
and they're going to get the wave around there.
Is a new hat. I mean, Jose Garcia has been here since the beginning.
Yeah, since
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and since the place.
Jose was born here. What are you talking about? He's like a Dollar General. There was an empty racetrack, and there was a Jose Garcia that popped up.
That was your Southernism of the day.
Yep. And I'm not done yet. If you want to see more, come to North Georgia Speedway.
Green,
All
Tag
right,
Senior Master.
And I believe, was that the Masters or the?
That was Masters.
That was
up front,
100% Masters.
That's Jose Garcia getting shuffled from first to second place. Looks like Eugene Panenko in that Barney purple uniform there is in first place.
That's probably the best description of that uniform.
Yes.
Now it's going to be interesting since they're starting the seniors in the back. Are they going to be working their way through this Masters field?
Well, I believe there's only 3 seniors.
I know, but they usually they start seniors first and then Masters.
Yeah, usually.
That's going to be interesting to see that shake up. But right now,
yeah, and there's Eugene Panenko in his matching cart, his new CKR chassis. He's now a dealer importer here in the United States with the CKR chassis. AMP's a Burrell dealer. Al Edwards of Will Bite Racing is an Eagle dealer, and we've got Eyes Up. They're
and how do you guys all
OCK
play
dealer.
nicely in the paddock together? Do you like ever throw down, have like brand wars out there?
Oh, absolutely, we do.
You know, one day I'm going to show up wearing the blue shirt, the next one will show up in the red one. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we're not going to have like
Steve, you need to show up in a shirt that says, "Why can't we all be friends?"
Yeah. Why can't we all just get along?
the Gadsden flag.
You know, but here's the bottom line here, though, is, you know, believe it or not, that it's the chassis. Does the chassis work for the driver? And when we're evaluating what cart to put somebody in, there's not one size fits all or one's better than the other. They all have their advantages and disadvantages. And, you know,
So it's what suits your driving style,
correct.
basically.
And for instance, you know, Jose Garcia is running in a Comp Cart, and Comp Cart is a variant of the Burrell. Burrell's kind of the baseline, the tubes and the brakes and things like that is all Burrell. And so they've kind of piled on the branding there, right? Whereas OTK that's their own brand. They have several sub-brands inside of the OTK line. And now what we've started to see is, you know, OTK is kind of the Porsche of the karting world. iCart that I sell is the Ferrari of the karting world. And we're starting to see a lot of OTK parts show up on things like Eagle and MGM and a lot of the 4-stroke classes because Tony karts are known for their tunability and their ability to stay free when the kart track is really grippy. And so, you know, that is the name of the game here. As the sun's coming out and the track's starting to heat up, the game has totally changed from this morning. We're running on rains. So these guys are going out. You saw Eugene and Jose are way ahead of the rest of the pack there, but Eugene really got an advantage. Eugene's really good in the dry here.
And what does that do for your muscle memory when you go out in the morning on practice and qualifying in the wet, and then go right into your pre-final and finals on dry?
Well, when it's dry after it's rained, the track's really green. There's no rubber on it, so the cart's really, you know, it's going to slide around a lot. When you're racing in the rain, you know, as we call the rain, the great equalizer, and so everybody's tiptoeing around the track, even though you're running on those crazy rain tires. So it does have a big effect, and you'll see a lot of people go to the front that normally aren't at the front in the rain races, and then they'll immediately fall off in the dry.
Now check this out. Oz Cheek, the 4th, running the fastest lap of the race that last time by. He's back in 8th position, 51.600. That is good for almost a full second faster than your race leaders right now.
Yep. So there's a distinct possibility that Oz will be on the podium today. I'll tell you, you know, Oz in that factory cart, he must have spun in the pre, or something happened to him in the pre to be that far back. Oz is normally up there in the front.
Yeah, I'd say he's normally a podium runner here in this division.
Absolutely, he is. And so he's running a factory cart. He is the Southeast factory cart dealer.
We're going to be watching. That looks like the tail end of the senior field's about to get caught. And here I was talking about seniors being faster than masters. And
yeah.
It looks like the head of the snake's about to catch the tail here as your leaders come barreling down the back straightaway. I wonder if this is going to end up putting a little wrench here in the plans, because this battle between Jose Garcia and Eugene Panenko, Jose's not letting up right now.
He's not.
And the two of them are easily pulling away from the rest of the field.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and say this out loud. I guarantee you, Jose will finish this and go do a stint up at the main track.
Oh, go hop in a lucky dog cart.
Go hop in a lucky dog. That sounds like something we would see Jose Garcia do.
Absolutely.
Surprised his Miata's not out there.
Exactly.
So you see what these guys are doing. You see as they start turning through, that cart rotates, and then all of a sudden they're kind of shimmying back and forth, especially there through 16 because it's such a long corner. These guys are, as you said, a muscle memory, and they're really struggling with a green track right now. They're slipping and sliding all over the place. The guy throws his arm up, says, "Hey, stop touching me," because they did get into each other there as they went through turn 3.
I wouldn't have held my hand up that way. That's not the hand signal I would have given.
Yeah, probably not. The universal sign of peace or the highway to heaven, one or the other.
That was probably the greatest quote of all time.
I just give him half of a peace sign.
The good old, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
It's a good thing there's not a camera in the booth.
Now, did you see that at Kansas with Carson Hocevar?
Yes.
All the way down the front stretch.
So let's talk about a fast charger here. Look where Ian Drennan is. He's now in third position. He's gone by from 8th to 3rd in as many laps. So he's 6 laps in. Ian Drennan's a force to be reckoned with. That guy is super fit, super healthy. He's really, really come on strong. He's a great participant with the Freedom Karting guys. He's a super nice dude. He always comes over to us and, hugs and high fives, and just a great guy for the community and karting in general. We really like to see his success.
Now he's got some clean track ahead of him to catch up to this front group. Let's see what he's able to do.
So right now we're all the way down to 52.193 there, Jose Garcia. And I'm trying to see if someone has had that's the last times. We don't have the best lap right now. I think Oz Cheek still got the fastest lap of the day.
Yeah, and he's going to have to find some Ian's going to have to find some speed here, though. He's still almost a half second off pace of those two front runners right now.
Yeah.
Ian is currently sitting at about a 5 1/4 gap between him and Jose Garcia.
Second or cart length?
Second.
Seconds. All right. Well, you're not going to make that up in the next
Not unless something
4
catastrophic happens.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Anything can change here. You keep on digging. You keep on racing hard, because if you have that far of a gap, you're trying to it's a practice day now, right? And so you're just trying to keep your position and not drop off and things like that. So, and their speeds really aren't dropping off. They're actually getting better. We were down in the low 52s. Now we're in the mid 52s there between Jose Garcia at 52.657 and 467. So literally 20 hundredths off.
A driver we have not talked about today, Joe C. Davis in that 31 cart. He's right behind Drennan, less than half a second.
Those are the two we were just watching. Yeah. And that was the tail end of the mid-pack right here.
Looks like we got a bunch of guys about to get together. They're going through turn 4.
Ooh.
We're about to see 2 wide through the kink?
Yeah,
no.
that's
no, they
not advisable.
Not
advisable. Here we go.
You've done that a couple times.
I have. But it really can end badly.
And there goes Oz Cheek right around that entire group.
Yeah, Oz just found the path.
I think he just picked up 3 spots with that move.
He did. And you see that the track is really slick, because you see him getting the sideways even as he accelerates out of the corners there. And if the track was super, super grippy, that wouldn't be happening as much.
Now, I'm not sure if Oz Cheek's going to be able to advance himself any further as these laps are winding down, but for points on the season, that was definitely a good move to make right there. Look at that. Yeah, he just went from 8th all the way to 5th.
And that's Jose Garcia, 1/10 quicker on this last lap than Eugene Panenko. And I think I've lost Eugene and Jose. They're way out front there.
Yeah, we're going to need to switch to them here. We're going to be 2 laps to go here in a second.
There they go.
Yeah,
They're going down
all the way to the top.
Turn 9 there. You see way in the distance. And there's Eugene Panenko, and there's Jose Garcia, one right behind the other. They're within about a half second of each other, it looks like. I'm judging that by my calibrated eye. 2 to go here. Jose is going to try and turn on the turbo boost, doing some late braking and some smooth driving. And Eugene Panenko will do the exact same thing.
And some great shots here from Daryl Cannon, Killboy.com. Haven't given him a shout out here yet today. Flying that FPV cam, getting us some great shots. Almost like he's flying a little mini fighter jet behind these guys.
Yeah. Wow, Eugene Penyenko just ran really wide going down there through the turn 9 complex, and so did Jose Garcia, because they've opened up a gap again. I mean, he closed up and then opened right back up. Wow, that hurt. And here we go for the final lap. Jose Garcia runs a little bit wide there through turn 16 and 17. The white flag is out. Jose Garcia doing a late break there going into turn 2, trying to just turn on the turbo boost. Can he catch Eugene Penyenko? Eugene Penyenko is really pushing it as well. Jose sliding sideways there through turn 4. Really lost some time there, unfortunately. He was playing catch-up, trying to recover that cart, not go into the paint.
Eugene Penyenko still out front as we come into the last set of corners here. Looks like a local caution there in the pull-off, in the
Rainbow
stripes.
Road. That's what I call it.
Rainbow Road.
Unless something catastrophically goes wrong, it looks like it's going to be Eugene Penyenko in first place and Jose Garcia in second tag masters.
Great finish for Jose.
Yeah, it really is.
He's been fighting to get a podium all year. I mean, all last year too. He was struggling. He'd be flirting right there at third place and get passed at the last
is Ian
second.
Drennan going to be able to hold off John Dixon? That's the thing. There goes Ian Drennan.
And Dixon behind him. So that would have been the 31 possibly of Joe C. Davis that we saw out in Rainbow Road.
Yeah, and it looks like
tough break.
Curse of the announcer. You were sitting there hyping him.
There was a change there. Lucas Donahue and John Dixon. John Dixon got passed and now is in 5th place. It's a good finish for John because I think this is maybe his 4th or 5th time in a tag kart. So to be in the top 5 out of 12, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
how about some fighter pilot flying there from Daryl Cannon on that shot?
Yeah.
Really showing how quick that drone can get out there. I thought that was a sped up shot for a second. I thought Mike had it on replay or something.
No,
and
that's Oz.
That's
no.
That's Oz Cheek Jr. Or the 4th or whatever number he is. I mean, there's
3, 4,
maybe 10 of them.
I don't know.
No, that's the 4th.
So that's the 4th. Looks like he
got too much curly head to be the 3rd.
Yeah. He's actually trying to look like Billy Musgrave. That's what he's doing. And actually, so this is Billy Musgrave's brand, his cart that they developed and now sell.
And
to the Cheeks.
Absolutely flew around this track. Was it 2 seasons ago now when we had that race with all of them out here?
Last year. He came out last year and he laid down that 47 second.
Beat the
ridiculous.
we beat the record twice. We had that big race in October 2 seasons ago.
Yep, we had
broke the record then, and then Musgraves came back the following season and broke that.
We had Kremers.
Marion Kremers.
Martin Kremers.
So next on the docket, we have the K100 Juniors and Senior Division. 7 carts checked in today.
So we have a Wilbite driver that's moved up in the ranks and moved on. That's Aiden Courtney. Aiden Courtney in junior is 1st place, I believe, and there's 2 of them, guaranteed podium, but still he's in 1st place. This is a great learning lesson for him. Even though it's the field's a little light, he can kind of relax and drive the cart.
So I think before we get too far down Conversation Street here, I think we got somebody lined up there in Victory Lane.
As a matter of fact, we do, guys. We got Eugene Penyenko here, who just won the pre-final for the Tag Master. Eugene, how was it today? How was the car running?
It was a great day. It was pretty tough in the morning because of changeable weather, but our carts were set up for dry weather, and it was good.
Is there anything you think you're going to change for the final versus the pre-final that might make it a little easier, or do you think you guys have pretty good? Are you confident in what you're going to be keeping the distance, what you're doing already?
Yes, just from my experience, when the weather is changeable like rain, but we know that it will be dry, it's better not to move, to make a lot of moves.
Gotcha. Well, thank you. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you in the final as well. We'll see you guys.
All righty, well, we're back. But I'm going to bid you guys adieu. I've just realized what time it is. I've got some folks coming I got to meet. But congratulations to all our
Always
drivers.
love having you up here in the booth, Al.
So that
Anytime.
was that the pre-final or the final?
That was the final. We've only got 2 more. This day's going by so quick.
So Eugene's, I was like, wait a minute, Eugene, you forgot. But
I guess that was the final. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, they'd still say congratulations. So you did a fantastic job.
It's all good, buddy. All good.
I think his initial expression, he said, "How was it out there?" And he goes, "That says it all about
it
the
was
the
day.
You
weather."
saw he was fighting it. They
Yeah.
were both fighting traction. They were slipping and sliding all over the place. And Eugene, he's really good at driving a loose cart. I'll tell you, that guy really can.
Hey, if you got Jose down there, Colin, you should grab him real quick. I want to talk to Jose.
Yeah,
That's
Jose's
Mr. AMP right there.
Looks like he's still sitting in his cart, and John Wareheim is giving him a debrief right now.
He is
our expert
Mr.
tuner.
AMP kart racing himself.
That's for sure.
Well, he's Mr. AMP racing in general.
Yeah, he's been here longer than me.
He is AMP.
There was a day, our first season broadcasting, that Jose, we had a kart track and a main track race day on the same day.
And he ran
and
2 divisions in both.
And he did both. Yeah,
and
won both.
Yeah,
and did both races in absolutely insane performance. So
yeah.
And I think did he have a? Because he went down for his season, I feel like, because we missed him for about a year, and then he
We did. He was doing a lot of racing in Europe, actually. He started doing some European stuff, and I think that he had to put a lot of time into that because Jose's a very busy guy. He's a very successful guy, and he works in a field that generally everybody plays golf as their leisure activity. And I've literally had to go over to his house at a party and explain to people why racing is so much better than golf.
Oh yeah,
right. And it's
I would get kicked out of a lot of those parties.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably.
It's just a different breed of cat that does it.
Look, I don't mind golfing. It's fun, but I don't golf. I play how much water we can drink within 18 holes.
Right. Or
Steve likes to make divots.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason they call it a stroke because every time you swing the club, it's like you're going to have a stroke.
That Robin Williams bit where he talks about the inventor of golf. You ever seen that one?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
He's going to have a stroke.
That's what we'll call it. A stroke.
Man, speaking of golf courses, the grass out here is actually looking pretty good. I love this time of year.
Yeah.
And all the plants are nice and out. It's looking great. The weather's tolerable because it's not like 90-plus degrees summer weather.
It's not the
It was
armpit
89 yesterday, and it got really humid in the afternoon. And we were covered in it, but that's okay. And it was so funny because in the LO206s, we could not get out of the 103s.
Oh,
and
dang.
it didn't matter what class it was. It was either me or Nico or Carson or somebody. None of us could get out of the 103s. It was really messed up. A little frustrating.
Well, hopefully tomorrow it'll go a little better for you because we should. I mean, most of the racing will be done before we hit our afternoon highs.
Highs and potential.
And I mean, before we get into that, I mean, how is that going to affect you from a planning standpoint? Because normally when we're doing a full program, you're running your final race after 3 o'clock.
Right.
Now we're going to be doing them at noon.
Yeah. Well, what you're going to see is you're going to see some much faster times, and so you won't have to do as many setup changes. That's going to be the saving grace of it all.
Oh, so that's going to be nicer on the mechanics then.
Yeah, it's going to be easier on the mechanics, that's for sure. It's going to be, if anybody, because it's such a green track, we'll have some rubber laid down by these guys today, but it's not real hot. It's been overcast and kind of semi here and there, so that there's not a lot of rubber on the track at all. And
now, do you like there being rubber on the track? Is that generally good for y'all?
Yeah, a little bit of rubber on the track makes it a little more predictable.
Now,
when it's green like this, you see these guys slipping and sliding all over the place.
Now, I've got to ask, because just slight promo for the upcoming 4th of July event, but 2 seasons ago we had Adam LZ out here on the kart track drifting.
Uh-huh.
Did that help at all?
No.
Did that make it worse?
It's the wrong kind of rubber, right? So you have different compounds than, so here.
So you want other racing tires laying down rubber.
Correct. And, we have 2 different compounds here, but they're both Salt Vega. Here's Jose Garcia.
Oh, here we are.
Hey, guys. Yep, got Jose Garcia here second in the Tag Master. How was it today? I know you were battling back and forth between Eugene Panenko, and you were so close, came right up on the backside there, but he always had just a little bit of a differential. How was it today?
Yeah, we were fighting a loose rear and losing a lot of time on this corner particularly, and another one similar. As I'm complaining about the setup, my tuner says, Jose, I don't know what you're saying because we set the fast lap, and I think I started overdriving on top of it, so it's very difficult to pass Eugene. He's very fast, so he set the bar today. So it's nice to be able to at least throw the same laps. And a shout out to John Warham for giving me a fast car. I guess the nut behind the wheel is the one that we need to work on.
Right. Well, congratulations. Yeah, well, the podium finish is still fantastic, and we'll see you here next time. And back up to you guys.
And we are already underway with the KA100 Senior. There's a couple of KA100 Juniors at the back of this pack, but looking at this food menu right now, if we were to have a Jose Garcia
burger, that needs to
menu
happen.
item, no,
that
that's got to be a
happen.
flight. That's got to be like the burger and chicken tenders.
And
it's got to be
fries.
multiple classes. On there.
Yeah, and dessert. That's what we'll call it. So we've got a caution flag here, local caution in, I believe, turn 16, 17. I don't see anything.
Yeah,
on
we are
our
slowly
drone.
looking around. I don't know. Maybe.
Whatever was there is no
There's
longer
a
there.
Rapper on track. I don't know.
Well, 7 carts checked in here, most of them in the senior division. 898 Mason Groves leads the way. Last time by, Christian Foster, number 5 cart, was our fastest time, 54.912 so far. Austin Thompson in 3rd, Vincent Capetillo in 4th, Aiden Courtney 5th, and I'm going to butcher this one. Garami Eslick in 16th. If I said that wrong, I am sorry. I'm going to butcher this one too. In the 1,000 cart in 7th, Milan Yadov.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. If we said that incorrectly.
Yadov.
Yeah, okay, if we said that incorrectly, please come up here to the tower and correct us.
Yes, please.
We are terrible with pronunciation.
Yes, you can tell us to our face we're doing good, and any complaints can go in the box.
Yes, it's a $15 fee per complaint.
Yes, you have to pay your complaining fee.
Made payable to Steve and Will.
That's so we can take some Rosetta Stone and some other classes so we can learn to pronounce
Duolingo.
Names. Yes.
Well, they killed Duo, so I don't know if I can do that anymore.
And right now we are just about to hit lap 3 here as we are following the leaders through the final turn, turns 16 and 17, back onto the front straightaway. And that will put 3 laps in the book. Christian Foster turning the fastest lap of the race that last time by, so he is getting quicker as this race progresses. I think starting to get some heat in those tires.
Yeah, he's roughly
he's about a quarter. About a quarter
second.
About a quarter second faster there than second place there, Mason Groves, on that last lap. So times are starting to come down. We should see these guys, maybe hit into the 52s by the end of this one. We'll have to see. These guys are a little bit slower than division we just watched. The tag class, those are the liquid-cooled 2-strokes, and KAs, this is the air-cooled 2-strokes, so a little bit less power. But the nice thing about this class is this is one of those introductory, into 2-stroke classes. For a lot of those guys that are running in the LOs, it's good to hop in these KAs because they have similar maintenance intervals. They're not quite as finicky as the tags and obviously as the shifters. So it's kind of a good introductory class, very budget-friendly. Especially if you want that feel of a 2-stroke, you want the higher speeds, you want the higher forces while you're out there. And a lot of the guys, if they get in the LO and the 4-stroke and they decide, hey, this is, it's not quick enough for me. This is the next division they go and run in. And so right now we are watching them as they're making their way through the backside of the track. That is turn 9, 10. 11, 12 through the S's, 13 right here. Coming up in that big blind sweeper, 14, probably one of my favorite corners out here on track. You're going downhill, you can't see in front of you, and it's just a big, faith-based turn, I guess, because, it's between you and God when you try and send it on the outside going through 14.
Couple Hail Marys as you come through that corner. That or the kink when you're 2 or 3 wide.
And I would say, turn 2 is pretty fun too, but it's fun when you're just barreling over turn 1 and you can't even see.
He just whoop straight down.
Especially when you get into these racing chassis and you have so much more speed, and the cart will just lift off that hill.
There's some that, what was it, Puerto Rican?
Yeah,
some
of the shifters in a fresh tag can get some air coming over those hills.
We did a whole video on it.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was part of that project.
It was a lot of fun.
It was fun. I was too fat. We could not jump it with me. That was like the ultimate goal. If we could jump it with Steve, we could jump it with anything.
Yeah,
that did not work.
The only thing you'll be jumping, Steve, is we need to put you in a Dukes of Hazzard.
I am down. Hit the Dixie horn
they
and do some jumps.
They do those memorial jumps all the time.
It would hurt, though. God, that would hurt.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to jump an old Dodge Charger.
Well, basically, if I'm not mistaken, they take Monte Carlos and just that's the undercarriage or Ford Escorts, slam it underneath, and just it's the panels that's on the Charger per se.
Well, cars like that are getting harder and harder to wreck nowadays because can't find the replacement parts.
They wrecked, what was it, 10,000 of those filming that series?
Yeah, it was
some ungodly number.
Yeah.
I know they wrecked 500 of them for the movie.
So right now we are further back in the field right here. There's your leader right there, Christian Foster. And just behind him is Mason Groves, Vincent Capetillo. And Christian Foster building up a decent gap right now. Let me see if there's any closer action on track as they hit the line here. Yeah, it was 3 seconds last time, and now that gap is
still right at 3 seconds.
Yeah. So they're running pretty similar times right now, although Christian Foster has been consistently about a half second a lap, but a quarter second, a half second a lap quicker. So he's just building on that lead.
So, Will, what goes through your head if you're a driver and you've got a gap and you're way out front? What is going through your head? Do you
don't mess
kind
this
of
up?
Check out, you know?
Don't mess this up. You're in the money. Keep it.
See, this is from personal experience. I used to start singing to myself. So if you could imagine,
yeah, I don't have to wait till I'm in the lead to start singing to myself.
No. Like I completely check out. Like I'm like, all right, we're good.
I think the song might change if I'm in the lead and I'm that far out. You know,
making my way downtown, walking fast, wide open.
On and on and on and on.
99 fuss for that balloon.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, no, I get in the zone when I'm out there sometimes.
I do that when I'm driving, going down the road. I might be listening to a song.
I sometimes like to pretend that I am a race car driver when I'm on my zero turn cutting my grass.
It's because you're going so fast.
Yes.
Cutting
grass, making pass. I don't know. Anyways, well, back to the racing.
Whoa.
But looks like most of the field, I mean, you can see from this shot right here, is fairly spread apart right now. Wish we could find something a little more tight for us to cover, but it's going to be Will and Steve podcast hour until we get some more action on track. These guys are just out there putting laps in right now, making it look professional, keeping it clean.
There.
You know, we're 3/4 of the way through this race. Got about 3 laps to go. Hopefully some action will heat up here. But, you know, from a race director standpoint, this is what they love is when the guys aren't rubbing and passing, or, you know.
I mean, it doesn't make for TV spectacular, but, you know.
The thing is, at the end of the day, we like when everybody walks home.
Yeah,
you know, when everybody drives home safe, that's a good race day. I will take a race day with 0 cautions before I take any race day with cautions.
You ever been to a dirt track?
Yeah, that doesn't apply to dirt tracks. They get the caution flag during the pace laps.
We actually had that happen last night 3 times.
We've seen – oh, here we go. Got some action heating up.
I believe that is a lapped driver. Yep, that is
that is
Melania Dove and Christian Foster.
He easily gets around the outside of him, so not going to hold up the show too much there. You know, they got the popsicle stick, so 2 laps to go from that beautiful new starting stand.
I still love it.
I know. I'm still getting used to it. That's one of the things I love about coming back here is they're always making improvements here at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Lights last season.
We got the lights and the solar panels.
The perfect ending to last season was finishing the LO206 of Mayhem. Under the lights.
So great.
And it was a 30 kart field. Beautiful.
But we got the Jumbotron last year. We got the lights last year. This year they got the starting stand, which is awesome to see because, you know, they used to have the guy standing right there trackside.
Yeah,
that was always a little sketch, especially when you had some 2 and 3 wide finishes. So now he is safely up in the air. Great to see that. A couple seasons ago they got all these nice flag stands put in, got the fencing put in, the hedges are nice and
the
grown.
New guardrails going down.
Yeah, this place is constantly evolving, and I mean it already was a world-class facility, but it is getting that much better.
Can you believe that when I started here, we were in a tent?
Yeah, it was
back
literally
here,
gravel, a single wide trailer.
In a tent.
In a tent. Yeah, like it was seeing the progression of this place over the years has been fantastic.
There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this building that we're sitting in right now.
And what's even better is it is helping build the community.
Exactly.
Because it's the Field of Dreams thing.
Yeah,
if you
build it, they will come.
And that's exactly what they're doing. And
speaking of that, I had a joke there, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah,
Christian Foster would take the white flag. We'll take the checkered flag this time by.
And putting up a pretty dominant performance there. 5.6 seconds was the gap between first and second place. So Christian Foster, he took off and did not look back during that race. I mean, if my math serves me correctly, that's averaging about a half second a lap quicker than the rest of the field.
I believe your math is
my
correct.
maths. And second place, Mason Groves. Third place, Vincent Capetillo. Fourth place, Austin Thompson. Fifth place, Aiden Courtney. And I believe still on track. Yep, there goes Aiden Courtney, just hit 12. We got Grammy Eslick and Milan Yadav have to finish their last.
Everybody's off.
So they're waiting for the whole field to get off before they let them roll across the scales there.
Have we seriously rolled all the way into our final division?
Yes,
today?
we are getting ready to do the shifters. This
feels
doesn't feel natural.
blasphemous.
Yeah,
what in the
we
world?
normally aren't even going live until about 11:30 for the pre-finals.
You know what? I got an idea. Me, you, Mikey, keep the show rolling live. There's concession cards
roll this
here.
into. I mean, they paid for us to be here. Might as well give the audience what they want. Oh, there goes Sean Hayes running down the paddock right now.
He said, "Oh no, it's time to go."
He's got to get in the cart.
Rocky theme. Cue it.
Yeah, go play that back in slow mo. You know, and he wrote the rules on.
He can hear us too.
Yeah.
So that's the best part.
Probably rethinking those rules about no scooters and skateboards in the paddock.
Oh boy!
But I mean, that was more of an insurance thing. That wasn't a administration thing. That was we kind of had to. Oh, there it is.
Cue Rocky. Somebody throw him a banana.
Always fun here. That's Sean Hayes, our membership director. It's always great when you got employees that also race because you work with them. You see them in the office every day, and then getting to see them on the weekends, having fun. And that's what I love about this place. Everybody's into racing. You don't come here if you're not into racing. And so I think we're almost getting ready. I think he was up there hanging out with his brother at the Victory Lane.
Probably didn't realize. Oh no!
Yeah,
it's
that heard
go
us say,
time.
"Oh, shifter's up next."
Hey, speaking of, we could
Yeah, do
probably
we got
go to
somebody?
Colin.
Yeah, I say we got somebody on there, Colin.
Out to get what's his name, Mr. Christian Foster, who just won the KA Senior. He'll be up in about 2 seconds. I'll flag you guys down.
All right. Well, we need to get you running too now. We got Sean running through the paddock. We need to get actually. We need to do a brotherly foot race. That would be the way to do it.
Look, man, I can't run right now.
I feel like Sean would beat me, and I think we used to do that anyway. But I don't know. I just my stamina might be a little better now. We'll see.
I think
Better try that out.
You were dressed too nicely, Colin, to do a foot race right now. I think that's.
Well, this gives you a little bit more motivation to do it when you're dressed like this. See, it pops.
I mean,
I just got to untuck the belt a little bit and
that
kind of make
shirt,
it out. It should be fine.
Your shirt is single-handedly pulling up the production value of this entire broadcast.
It's because he's the one.
I'm up here in a t-shirt and shorts. I think
I'm covered in
Steve's
paint.
Steve's in paint-covered gym shorts, and at least you got an amp.
You guys haven't even seen the Ross Chastain sun hat yet, which also is probably not as aerodynamic, but I think it would still work really well with
another
the race.
sprint race.
Yeah.
We got one going down the front stretch now. We need another slow-mo shot.
We need to do a foot race around the track. That should be. Oh, wait.
She heard us. Not sure who that is down there, but.
Now, it used to be Eli Bearden down there doing the race starts. I got to find out who the new race starter is. Eli, over the offseason, got promoted to GM, so he's now up here in the cool ivory tower with us, so looking down on on everybody else, making sure the show's running good. But always great to see new personnel out here. Oh, it looks like we do have somebody ready to go. They're about to get this race started up, Colin, so if you got the interview, let's go ahead and get it in real quick.
As a matter of fact, I do. I have Mr. Christian Foster here, who just won the KA Senior for the day. And Christian, how was the track today? Did you change any of your strategy from the pre-final versus now? Was there anything that made you run a lot easier?
Well, initially the track was pretty wet. Like I know in the morning it was raining. It dried up a lot though, so I was able to get a lot more grip. We changed to slicks. Mainly my strategy was to get out of there. My chain fell off in the pre-final, so I was starting last. So on that start, just making sure I was getting out of the way of everything and just flying away.
Well, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you here next time as well. And go enjoy your victory, man. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys up here in a second.
Green flag has flown on our shifter division here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. 7 karts.
That's a great shot right there of all those shifters coming through the King. You know, this division, we've seen anywhere from 2 drivers all the way to 27 drivers on track.
That was one time we had, contact there in the S's.
And they got up on each other.
See
I
if
wonder if
we-
that's going to affect. And that's Sean Hayes right there at the tail end of that, just barely missing those 2 guys. And I believe that was.
He's giving a point by. There's something potentially going on. Oh, a lot of contact.
Oh, and that pinched the corner there. Yeah, probably don't need to do the point by coming right into a turn.
Yeah, it's not the best place to do that.
And I believe that was Jim Mackle and potentially Oz Cheek there.
I'm not sure.
In that contact.
No, I think that was John Disselwig.
Yeah, because he
towards the rear of the field
he's
there,
fell
and
back a
Tyler
couple
White.
positions. And it looked like John getting passed by Tyler Witt coming down the back hill. And things are shaking up here. And that's the crazy thing with these shifters is
you never know.
You know, we line them up in starting order based off of how they finished, and how they qualified. But that doesn't matter if you miss the start. You know, it's like the reaction time in a drag race.
Look at Oz. I mean, Oz started – he had a bad start to the pre-final. Now he's already up
Sean
to third.
To the inside, makes the pass, gets hit with the crossover. So that was Sean Hayes getting around Jim Mackle, but Jim got the position right back. And look at this. These 2 are duking out. This is our closest battle right now.
It's a 4-wide battle, essentially, for 4th through 7th.
Yeah, so that's Jim Mackle, Sean Hayes, John Ditzelwig, and Tyler Witt right now. And so that was Tyler Witt that we saw in the previous lap getting passed by John, unless somebody's transponder's not picking up or I'm just not reading the score sheet right. But this is our closest battle right now. We got this pack of 4 here at the back, and these guys are putting on a show right now. Not something we're used to seeing in the shifter division because normally everybody's got their own skill level.
Oh, way off into the runoff.
Yeah, they found a wet spot there on the track. And that's going to let Jim Mackle and Sean Hayes put a little bit more of a gap as that pack's starting to spread out right now.
It's about a second gap between Haynes and Disselwig, Haynes running 5th and Disselwig running 6th. So it's about a second and a half now at the line.
Yeah, so we're watching that battle between Jim Mackle and Sean Hayes right now. And then just behind them, John Ditzelwig and Tyler Witt. And this will be a fun one because these guys used to be co-workers. So, because Jim used to work with us up front, has since moved on, and Sean, membership director, trying to chase him down. I remember that whole season. You know, Sean was trying to get Jim to come out and start racing, and finally was able to get him out on track. So I know
and he
these
chose
two
a shifter.
Yeah,
well, that's all classes.
Well, no, that's what he raced. So
okay.
he's got a history in racing. He just gotten out of it for a little bit, and so great to see these 2 duking it out on track, former co-workers. Going to town right now. And I know Sean's trying his best to get around him right now. He looks to the outside, looks to the inside. And that's what's great about these shifters is they can pass going uphill. You get your shifts right.
Pass going uphill, pass going downhill, pass on straightaway,
You
pass
can pass
in the corner.
anywhere with these shifters. It's, you miss a shift, take a turn just a little too wrong. The skill cap with these karts is insane, and you've got to be on top of it. And the likelihood of making a mistake is high with these.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where, someone leaves you an opportunity, you better jump on it.
Oh,
and
like
here
right
he goes
there.
to the inside. Sean Hayes makes a diving pass. Look at that. And there goes Jim back on the inside. He did the same thing 2 laps ago. Got him with the crossover.
Oh, a little bit of a slide there through turn 1.
And this is going to set
Jim.
up a crazy finish for these 2 guys because he's hit him now twice with the crossover.
If you're just starting to follow along, we are in our final for our shifter division, last race of the day. 7 laps remaining.
Yeah, this still doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
We're not even at 1 o'clock yet, and we're at the last race of the day.
Jake Federer is your leader, Oz Cheek. is second. Ozcheek the fourth is in third. The battle we're watching on screen is the battle of, well, we'll call him.
He gives him the point by. I don't know if he's having a mechanical or
Just
something
tired.
going on, or maybe he did something he shouldn't have done and gave him the point by as a courtesy. I don't know. But let's see if he starts falling off pace or not. Maybe that Kart is starting to have some problems.
Yeah, he is falling off pace. He is definitely slowing down.
Yeah,
we
Jim
might see Jim come in.
Yeah, we might. Yeah, let's wait and see if he pulls off track here. Jim did what the guy in the graphic is doing. He gave him the
Yep,
there he
he's
goes.
coming off.
Oh man,
Tough.
that was the best battle on track too. Ended prematurely there. I know. Quit laughing. This is a family production, Steve.
Sorry.
There are young people watching this. Okay, stop laughing. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Here's another close battle on
Yeah,
track.
it's starting to heat back up here. That looks
A little
like
bit of bumping running.
John Ditzelwig and Tyler Witt.
Looks like Witt got around Disselwig there in the S's.
Yeah, and they've been going back and forth. So let's see here. Do a little do-si-do with our turn 16 camera.
There we go, catching them going in through turn 1. Down the hill into turn 2.
They are hot on each other's bumper right now.
When they cross the line, quarter-second separation.
So this is our closest battle on track right now. Always love giving the back markers some love, especially when, that's the only action going on. So,
I mean, sometimes even in the asphalt world, I'll be watching the leaders, and they've checked out. They're half a straightaway ahead. I'm like, oh, dear Lord, they're 6 wide coming through turn 3.
Those are the guys really having fun in the back. So right now, we are watching that battle for 6th and 7th position. John Ditzelwig trying to hold off. All right, so the battle for 5th and 6th. I'm sorry, that is Tyler Witt holding off John Ditzelwig right now. And we saw Witt got passed by just about everybody on that opening lap. Not sure if he had some more troubles like he did during the pre-final. But right now, he is able to keep Ditzelwig at bay. But as we've seen, anything can happen. We got 4 laps to go in this 12-lap contest as Tyler Witt leads John down the back straightaway. And these guys are on top of each other. Look at this. And you got to think conditioning-wise with this longer 8-lap or this longer 12-lap race, fatigue and conditioning are going to start to be a factor here in these final laps. Whoa! That was Ditzelwig, got a little squirrely. We saw them do that about 3 laps ago. So I'm wondering if there's still some water on the curbing or if there's if they're just dusting it, and splashing that camera.
So update on our leaders. Jake Fetter still out front. Currently has a 3-second lead over Ozcheek. And Ozcheek the fourth is about 3 seconds behind the other Ozcheek. So 1, 2, 3 here in the shift division. 3 laps remaining. Jake Fetter just crossed the line, so we're now down to 2 laps to go.
And as these laps are winding down, Jake Fetter pretty much checked out up there at the front. 3.5 second gap back to Ozcheek. And then Ozcheek the fourth, the son of Ozcheek, in third place.
The son of Cheek?
The son of Cheek. And so they have pretty much got first, second, third on lock, and then the real gap is about 17 seconds from there back to fourth place Sean Hayes, who was all by himself. We were watching that great battle between Sean and Jim, but Jim having some mechanical troubles and having to exit the track early. So Jake Fetter taking the white flag. So this will be his final lap, and the final lap of racing we have today here at Atlanta Motorsports Park. This is still weird that we're getting done this soon today, but
you know what? That means me and you have enough time to go next door. Well, not next door, right down the hall.
Yeah,
to
go
Fuel
try
Kitchen.
out some Fuel Kitchen. Yeah, I'm been eyeballing this menu all day. I can't give this thing enough love here on air.
Yeah,
you guys definitely need to come out here and check the food.
If you don't like the racing, come for the food.
Yes.
And if you don't like the racing,
well,
leave.
Come,
no,
come for the racing, stay for the food.
Sometimes two.
And then if you eat too much food, go pass out in one of the condos.
Yeah, get you a condo.
Yeah, we got everything here.
Kind of our own little private gated community now at this
Yes.
point. Checkered flag waves for Jake Fetter.
And like he did during the pre-final, he just ran away with this one. But great to see this field growing here. 7 karts for the shifter division. Always love to see this many guys out here racing. Oz Cheek taking the flag there. And there is Sean Hayes shoring up the 4th position. Then Tyler Witt and John Ditzelwick. So they're going to lock in 5th and 6th, and Jim is already off track. So that will do it. That's going to be your final running order. And we will hopefully get a word here with our winner, Jake Fetter. Colin Hayes standing trackside. And Colin, you got to make sure you grab Sean and do a brother-on-brother.
Yes, I promise I will. I'm going to get him as soon as he comes over here. My wife was begging because she's taking pictures. She has to see the brothers interview each other. I know it's a necessity.
You got to grill them. You got to be like, only 4th?
Yeah, well, I got to be careful because then he might beat me up. So I don't want to rub it in too much.
But, hey, he's knocking on the door of a podium, which is a pretty good finish for him.
Yeah,
so
and it was definitely an improvement from the last one as well. So I'm going to ask him a little bit of maybe what he changed or what he fixed.
We can see him on camera right now. He's smiling right now talking
yeah, it's all about
talking to Oz Cheek. But, I mean, heck, probably those endorphins are running pretty strong right as you're pulling off track.
I mean, he just ran a quarter marathon to get down to his car.
Yeah, I know. He was probably already gassed before they even started. There he is, yeah.
He's
Good job,
feeling it.
yeah.
Better shape than we were in.
Yes, yeah. I was going to say, we're sitting here making fun of it, but I would have made it about halfway before having a heart attack.
Speaking of, you want to go eat some deep fried Oreos?
Yeah, I know, right? Is that on the menu there, too?
I wish it was.
Oh, man. That's how you know I didn't make the menu, because
funnel
cakes and fried Oreos.
Yep. Funnel cake, fried Oreos, fried
boiled
Twinkies.
peanuts.
Yep. Traditional track food.
And I would have been fired after that probably.
No, we need.
That is traditional short track food, this is a country club, Steve.
Hold up. We got to bring a little bit of the southern flavor to the country club.
But there needs to be filet mignon, prime rib, a wedge salad. Every good country club's got a wedge salad.
That's true. Pimento cheese sandwiches. That needs to be added.
Short track, Steve. They have pimento cheese on the catering menu.
Have you gone to the Masters? The pimento cheese sandwiches are the best. Ooh, look at that view. Speaking of the best.
That's some angry clouds, too, so might be good we're getting out of here.
I got to go over that mountain range here in a second.
God, I love that. Yeah, all the trees out here. This is one of the things that's hard to articulate to people is they literally built this racetrack in the mountains, in the hills of North Georgia, and that's what makes this place so cool and so unique.
Underneath all of this asphalt is granite, straight granite.
And speaking of granite, we have got our race winner, Jake Fetter, down there with Colin Hayes. Colin.
And winner of the Shifter Series. Here we got Jake Fetter. And, Jake, did you change anything between the pre-final to now? And how was track? Was it a little bit better, dried up as the day went on, or how are you feeling now?
Yeah, we made some brake changes. I was struggling with brakes in the pre-final, put some new pads up front, and that seems to have squared that away. Aside from that, small carb adjustment and some tire pressure changes. Tracks still pretty green. I was struggling a bit for rear grip out there, but I think everyone else is struggling with the same thing, so we're all kind of on an even playing field in that respect. So overall happy.
Yeah. Well, fantastic job, and look forward to seeing you again. I guess we're going to be doing it a little tomorrow. It was a bit of a shorter day today, but we're going to try and bring everybody back out. And if you guys give me another 20 seconds, Sean Hayes had to run down and pick up his hat because he has to wear that, I guess, for the interview. So
yeah, I'm the same way.
I mean, I'm sure his sponsors are going to can him if he doesn't have the hat on,
Dang, and I said that live, too. Oh,
why wasn't there a PR man there to hand him his hat?
Yeah, well, and I have one here, too, just in case he doesn't. So, but all right, just give us a couple seconds. He'll be right up.
Yeah, we need to ask him who his beverage sponsor is.
Well,
because usually, at the end of the race, they get the hat and they get the Gatorade or the Pepsi or whatever the.
If it's me, it's Bapple.
You and your Bush Apple.
God, I love it.
You are a walking meme, Steve.
I am. Reed Scott with Liberty Racing Review told me the other day. He goes, Steve, you are the broke version of Cletus McFarland. And I said, that is the best comparison I've ever heard because it's true.
Yes.
I live and breathe racing, and I just don't have the money. If I did, I would.
Well, hopefully we'll fix that one of these days.
Yeah.
You're going to get your break, Monster Jam.
They've
for the front,
they've been calling, and I can't wait to do some events with them at some point in time. But I just keep looking at this menu, man. I'm hungry now. It's 12:30. It's lunchtime here in the mountains of Dawsonville, Georgia.
Yeah, let's see. They got hot honey chicken tenders.
Telling you slap that on a sandwich.
Ooh, buttermilk marinated chicken breast, crispy fried pickles. Oh man, that's the classic chicane sandwich.
Yeah, I know. There we go. Let's see here. You got
trackside quesadilla.
Yeah,
Who doesn't love Who doesn't love a good quesadilla?
Quesadilla on a corn tortilla.
Is that like a French quesadilla?
Quesadilla. That Southwest speedster salad.
Turn 6 salad. What's good on turn 6? That's where's that? That's just past the kink. So that's
that is the kink.
No, yeah, that is the kink. Yes, that's where that grilled chicken served over romaine lettuce, cheddar cheese, bacon crumbles, grape tomatoes, cucumber slices, toasted croutons topped with candied pecans.
What did you just say?
Pecans.
What kind of Yankee stuff are you saying?
It's pecan.
No, that's Yankee. Pecan. Like
okay,
pecan.
that's. I know what side of the tracks you live on, Steve.
Yeah, the dirt.
Yeah, you're on the side that's not paved. A pecan is what you have on a boat when you got to go to the bathroom.
My feet.
And you don't want it blowing back in your face.
My feet are firmly planted in the dirt.
Yeah, they need to get us off here before we start reading this menu.
Yeah, we're just going to go through the whole menu here at Fuel Kitchen.
No, this is.
Oh, he brought out the Busch Light hat. There we go. It's time to party.
All right, guys, the moment you've all been waiting for. The brothers finally get a chance to interview each other after a wonderful day, unfortunately a little shorter. But, Sean, how's it going, man? Are you tired?
I'm definitely tired. I got some extra fitness in. Pushing to the grid, I realized my front bumper was about to fall off.
Ooh.
Did a wind sprint all the way up to A&P Kart Works up the hill and back with parts. Snapped the cart together and then on the grid for a good start. So I started tired, breathing hard.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot, man. So the guys were making a bet. They were going to see if at some point you and I would race against each other. Doesn't matter what we're wearing, just something comfortable to go for it. Do you think you would beat me in a race or vice versa?
If it's anything like when we were kids, I think so. The rental carts, we can go heads up if you're ready.
Yeah. Well, in that case, yeah, maybe I have to do a little bit of training. So, well, thank you guys for joining us today. We look forward to same time tomorrow. We'll bring you the exact same coverage here at A&P Kart Racing. And in the future, me and Sean actually plan on doing some of the announcing as well in the booth for some of the kid racing.
Yeah, we definitely look forward to that. And it's going to be fun once we get that set up because they've been hyping this for a while.
Oh, yeah.
We need to get the Hayes brothers.
Yeah, we need to get the camera.
Hey, give us a quick taste of what we can expect for the kids broadcast.
Well, we've already had a lot of the professional sounding things. We've not written scripts, but we've practiced and said that we were going to say a few phrases here and there, maybe some catchphrases. We have a nice little music number done by our other brother, which is supposed to be really cool. So it's going to be like a full, not total ESPN production, but to that level of professionalism.
No, who's going to be doing the British accent? Because someone has to do the F1 accent.
Yeah, we're going to have to do rock, paper, scissors and see who's going to do the British accent for sure.
ESPN
we'll see who can talk faster.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
ESPN.
Sean's got more experience on that. I can't really do especially during the actual race coverage. I need to learn a little bit more on that.
ESPN meets CTESPN. Antonio Brown will be here next week.
Well, yeah, great job, guys.
Thank you, guys. All right, back up to you.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know how to sign off this early.
I don't know how to do. I don't know what to do.
It's
with my
easy
hands.
to sign off after we've been at it for 7 hours, but I feel like we just got started here. We're just breaking in, and we're already done with the racing here today. But I think that was part of the strategy because splitting this off into 2 race days, we were really getting to a point where the seams were bursting here.
Yeah, we were.
160 plus drivers on a single day. That was insane for when you see the place and the facility. I mean, we've got the room up front, but out back, we're pretty much built on a hillside. And hats off to the team for doing everything they could to get as many drivers as they could in here. But I think we finally hit a point where, we know what full is, and so part of the experiment with doing this split day was getting it and seeing how it went. And I think it went fairly smooth. maybe ask me again after tomorrow, because once we get all the 4-stroke guys
Yeah,
in here,
you know, that's
going to be
about
a
100
lot more.
guys.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more drivers coming in tomorrow. So might have a different hot take after that, but. That's pretty much going to do it for us here today at Atlanta Motorsports Park. You got any final thoughts, Steve?
Well, final thoughts is go to Fuel
You
Kitchen.
keep looking at that menu, Steve.
Man, I am starving. I haven't eaten anything last night since like 8 o'clock, and it was a chicken sandwich.
Go get you a pit stop flatbread. That looks pretty good,
that's
too.
what I was thinking.
Or maybe an EV Racer veggie burger.
Yeah,
you look like a
no,
veggie burger kind of
no.
guy, Steve.
No, I don't know. No.
Go hop in your Chevy Spark and drive home.
You mean my Ford Ranger? No, I'm not going home. I'm going to another track.
Well, on that note, folks, it's going to do it for us here up in the booth. I am Will Rigdon alongside Stephen Newbold. And for everybody that made the show happen today, big shout out to all those guys. We love you guys at home for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and we will see everybody right back here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're going to have all the 4-strokes. So until then, so long, everybody.